do your usual preparations for going into Focus 10. Take your time and get into a good 10 state, and then let me know, and we'll go on from there.
Okay. The light is still on in here. Is that supposed to be on?
Now we'll take that off. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, great.
Now, this is session 1252, 8th session with JNW, February 2nd, 1985. That's very good. Would you like to go on to 12 at this time?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go to 12 and then let us know. All right, very good. And now I want you to go ahead and proceed to Focus 15. And remember, again, your affirmation. And then let me know when you're there.
Okay.
All right, very good. What's it like for you there?
It's kind of like it always is when I get to this point. It's real spatial. It's like I'm here and I'm not here.
Okay, well, why don't you go ahead now and go out farther and farther. Ask to be taken to your highest source of information. Perhaps to contact again the blue energy consciousness.
Okay. Put a 100-pound sack on my body. It was real heavy. And yet, I'm not in my body feeling that. That's weird, huh?
Is it unpleasant?
No, I can't figure out whether that heaviness is part of an expansion or what it is. No, it's not unpleasant. The way it kind of feels as if somebody took an air pump and is pumping air in my body. Am I getting bigger and bigger? Floating along.
Do you want to continue floating with that?
Well, I can. I'm just sort of floating. I don't know whether to direct that or whether that's just getting deeper into a state of awareness.
Well, just relax and stay with that for a bit and see what continues to happen. What's happening now?
Well, I've counted myself to 21 and repeated my affirmation. It said, "Hey, damn it. Pay attention, I'm here." And this voice said, "Who said damn it?"
Would you add you?
Friends. They're my friends.
Very good.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I just feel silly in this space. Feels good.
That's good. Ask if there's someone there who would be willing to talk with you.
Yeah, I get the impression that there's definitely somebody there.
See if there's any way they would identify themselves.
All I keep getting is just, "We're your friends. Just call us friends."
Okay, that's fine. Is this the same group of 12 whom you encountered last time?
Yeah, they're always hanging around.
Is there one of them who might want to be a spokesperson for that group?
Well, they're all there, and that any of them will speak depending on the questions that are directed.
I see.
It's like a group consciousness, and it's like there's 12, but there's one, and maybe the communication comes for the consciousness of the 12.
I see. Ask if they have any specific information for us today.
I get a yes.
Very good.
Just give me a minute. I'm trying to allow whatever it is I want to talk about
That's very good. Just
to come through.
be patient and relax and allow that to happen.
They seem to want to talk about Bob.
About Bob? Okay.
And I get this real strong message that Bob is going to pass over, and he's going to pass over soon.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly hope they're wrong. It's like I don't want to hear that. And yet it's like they're saying you have to listen.
Yes.
That makes me feel real sad.
Try to suspend those feelings of your own about that, open for the information they have for us about Bob.
What they're saying is that none of us are really prepared for that if it happens. And we must prepare ourselves ahead of time so we know how to deal with the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we have to pay attention to that right now, where there's no time to waste. I'm having a real hard time putting my emotions aside.
Yes. Ask for help with that.
Okay. Okay, I'm just to be with my emotions for a minute so I can pass through it.
Very good.
One week it's tears of sadness. Last week it was tears of joy. We have so much work to do here. We mustn't let it rest just because Bob is going to make his transition. We have done the right thing so far by training others to do his work. He leaves behind his book, which will help many. The office needs to prepare for what that book will bring.
Ask for specific suggestions for how what those preparations should be.
Bob will be a great help to us when he makes the transition. He will help us through the explorers for a while. But he needs to go on to where he needs to be. But he will help us for a while. My body just got real cold.
You're perfectly safe.
I know. If you want to ask some questions you might want to know.
Do you want to, given that you are feeling very, very understandably sad with this information, do you want to stay in this area, or do you want to ask them for some other kinds of information? Work here.
No, the sadness is past. At least it has for the moment.
Okay, very good.
And it seems that that's the subject that's going to be discussed.
All right.
What do you want to know?
The information was that we're not prepared. Who is not prepared? Who are meant by that?
Everybody that's close to Bob right now in the new land and in the office. The main message that I'm getting is, if that happens, well, it's not if, when it happens, we are to continue on a regular basis as if he was here. We are not to close the lab. We are not to close the office. We are to continue his work because he has helped put us in touch with the energy systems that are greater than ourselves. And we are to carry his work on. And they will help us do that, as they have helped him. Our job will continue to grow, to expand, to reach out to many people. It's imperative that we continue his work.
Is Bob himself aware of the transition that's coming?
Yes, he's aware of it.
Ask if there's a specific time frame being referred to here.
April
of
April of this year.
Okay. Ask if this information that we're being given today should be shared, and if so, how, and also with whom.
Well, apparently I'm not the first person this information's come through. It's like those who know and who will carry on already know this information. And this is just to confirm that which they have been told before.
I see. Ask for specific suggestions for how we are to prepare for this.
Number one is not to let our grief stand in the way of moving on. Not letting emotions get in the way. Bob has taught us, well, like I said, Bob has taught you, and he has taught you well. Be not afraid. We are not to let our fears that we are not capable of doing this get in the way. Which means they're talking about his work. There will be some of us who will feel that maybe we aren't strong enough or know enough. That is not the case. We all have the knowledge. It is important that the gateway, so this knowledge reaches those who are ready for it right now. It's important that Bob complete his new programs. It is important that he completes that which he has on his agenda. Now is like underlined now. He is to put aside all plans for his house and not to have that in his thoughts for right now.
Is this Bob's choice?
Yes.
And could he choose to remain beyond April in physical body if he saw a need for that?
The pull is very strong. And he needs to get on to do what he needs to do beyond his physical body. If he chose to stay, it would be with a lingering illness. So when that pull comes, it's important for him to let go. It is important that we prepare Nancy, for it will be hardest on her. It will be important for her to know that she is to let go and not hold Bob's spirit here.
How can we help Nancy with this?
Nancy knows what's going to be happening, so it won't come as a shock to her. Those of us who are left here must support her in every way. Actually, she will be Bob's strongest contact in the beginning. And it will be important for her to be in the lab and to make that contact, because The initial important information that Bob will be sending back will come through her.
I see. And this should take place in the lab.
She will go very deep. And the way that that information will come back to us will be through her, but also through the monitor who is there to accept the information. It will be important that that information be recorded. There will be much other important information that the other explorers will need to get from the higher sources. They are to continue that information seeking. It's imperative that Bob continues to work with Joe in the lab. Joe needs to learn quickly for making tapes. Bob will help Joe with anything he doesn't understand after he makes the transition. But Joe needs that immediate knowledge and that understanding now.
Is there anything in the way the lab currently operates and the work being done that should be changed?
Actually not. You're all doing very well. You actually have done the best as far as learning what you have learned to help the explorers.
It's getting close to the time where we should bring the session to a close. I ask if there's any additional information before we do that.
No, because I have to allow time to pass through my emotional experience once again before I come down.
All right. Take your time in doing that and asking that, and then when you're ready, let me know.
My last message is, don't be sad, be glad.
Yes. Ask before you do return if and how that you could return to this source.
They'll be there because they're part of the 12.
Very good. Take what additional time you might need. And let me know when you're ready to return.
I'm going to start counting down from 21.
Okay, very good.
I'll let you know when I'm at 15.
That's very good.
I'm at 15.
All right. Now count yourself back down to 10. And when you're in 10, let me know, and then we'll come back down together.
I'm at 10.
Okay. And start coming back now, and we'll count back together. I'd like you to count out loud with me. And remember and know that when you return to normal waking consciousness, that you'll be feeling alert and full of energy. Your systems will be working beautifully. Emotionally, spiritually, you'll be feeling in balance and in harmony.
Okay. Gina already told me she would just as soon skip this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. That's pretty heavy.
Did you have any previous, premonition of what that information was about, or just was there for you?
I was there. I was just like, I think that's what that initial heaviness was feeling. It was like I was being prepared for a heaviness.
Mm-hmm. That weight you felt at the beginning. Yeah.
And then I said, okay. I just begged. I said, all right, you guys, I really want to talk to somebody out there today.
Yeah.
And it wasn't quite what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I wasn't music, Darlene.
I know it wasn't. I thought that we were. How was the place the same, or feel? Just for a minute, trying to not get caught up with the content of the session. But was that similar to the place you were in last week?
No, I was in a different place. I was further out. It was like I went to 21 this time and didn't do that last time.
So that's probably a good thing to remember that we should be doing.
Or just go up.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just wanted to go to the other side. And I don't know whether I had any connotation with the other side as being, life, death type thing. I don't know.
Sounds like you were definitely guided to go where you
But
were.
when I was ready to talk about music, and I really was. And it was really funny. It says, no, we're going to talk about Bob. And I didn't want to talk about him because I already had that heaviness. And that just, I just, certainly hope it's not true. But, it was real strong that he needs to complete what he's doing. And he needs to complete doing it now and put everything else aside as just imperative.
And that it was his choice.
Oh, yeah. He's ready. Right. He's been ready.
Yeah. It's another thing for us to remember.
Yeah, right. I just got caught up in the emotion of the whole thing.
Martin, do you have any?
I don't know. Was this a source that you felt was familiar from it? Was it a new source in your?
That's hard to tell sometimes because it's like my group of 12, or like when I go out and tap into this group of 12 that's there. Today it was the first time, and that was really interesting. It was the first time that it really came back to me that when I had one other experience one time when I had an out-of-body experience is where the 12 all merged into one, and it was a consciousness of one.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't here as an explorer, but that was when I was doing something different. And today I got that same feeling. It was like those were 12 aspects of myself, but they were aspects of, maybe other soul parts or wherever that are beyond what we're on the earth plane. Mm-hmm. And it was just like that merging of the 12 into one. Like last week they were all standing around me, and they never merged into one unless they did merge into one, and that was the love conscious of the merging. Yes. But today it was like they were there, and it was almost like I started on the slab. Remember, like I told you, like I was in the amphitheater, and I went up real quick, and it was just a oneness all of a sudden. I mean, that just came and it went real quick. So that might be a good point for me to go back and get into that space, get where I'm like in that amphitheater and go up, and then let the 12 take me where they're going to take me, or that consciousness take me where they want to go.
So that did happen today, but briefly.
Very, very briefly. Mm-hmm. In fact, I almost mentioned it, and then it was so fleeting, and I thought, okay, I'll be aware of that. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like this other was right there, and it was just like, this is the message now, today. Yeah. And
that sounds to me too, Jean, like some sort of breakthrough beyond what they were during that time last week when you were in that place. Yeah. They were telling you to be trusting, not to fear. And it sounds like you got past whatever was that blockage, or kept it from happening.
I must have said the affirmation 25 times. Uh-huh. I mean, I kept saying it over and over and over. And as I get to 10, I'd say it. When I got to 12, I'd say it. When I got to 15, I'd say it. When I got to 18, I'd say it. When I got to 21. And, this is like when I got to 21, I said, "No, damn it, I'm here." I said, "Who said damn it?" And then I knew I was where I needed to be. So anyway. You're welcome to share that with Bob if you want. I don't know how he would take that or how he would feel about it.
Well, my feeling about your suggestion of maybe clearing it through Scooter.
Yeah.
Suggestion to us, we can give it to her.
Given what you reported today, that it wouldn't be a surprise, it seems. That Bob's aware of it. I think you even...
Nancy's aware of it too. Yeah, I got that she was aware of it, but she's not ready.
Yeah.
Bob's ready, and he's tried to help make her ready, but she's not ready to be ready.
Uh-huh.
And
what was it about the house?
Oh, he's to put all plans aside for the house. For now. He's not to waste any more time on house plans. He's to
be focused on the
work that he needs to complete before he goes. I got the feeling that when that transition happens, it's going to happen like that. And it's just going to be over now. And if he asked me that, can he make it longer? Mm-hmm. I don't know whether it would be by way of a heart attack or what might be, but if he tries to fight it, he could be ill for a long time beyond that. Mm-hmm. I don't think he'd fight it this next time anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hope it's like in the case of Mark Twain. He said the reports of my death are premature.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Okay.